Hello. Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Kyle, and you are watching Sweet Potatoes. Now, as you notice, my lovely wife isn't here by my side. We weren't able to get someone to watch Elijah, or to help watch Elijah, unfortunately. So right now you guys are with me on the video. Just wanted to say happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers. The time I'm recording this video is May 10th. So this should be coming out tomorrow, Sunday, May 11th, Mother's Day. Yeah, just wanted to make a video going over pretty much the card reveals that we have had this week so far, and there's actually been quite a lot of them for the upcoming set, Reign of Jafar. So I figured we're not gonna go over absolutely every card that has been revealed this week. I compiled a list of all the cards that I found interesting or that stood out to me, whether it be art-wise, whether it be stats on the cards, whatever. So I guess first off, we're gonna go ahead and go over just the cards that were actually revealed within the app itself. So honestly, you can find all these cards in the app, just as a heads up here. So starting with Tiana Natural Talent. She is and if you guys are wondering here, I have my tablet right in front of me, and that's how we're doing this. She is a 4-cost uninkable 2/4 with Singer 6 and the ability Captivating Melody. Whenever you play a song, each opposing character gets -1 might until the start of your next turn. So, I mean, pretty interesting card for any kind of maybe steel song deck. Possibly, especially with that Singer 6 for a 4-cost, that's not bad. 1 lore, pretty decent. And in terms of art, really like the art here done by Milicia Selikovic. I am sorry if I butchered that name there. But I really like this art, and I know Lace would actually like this as well. I don't think she's seen this. So her favorite Disney princess is Tiana. So pretty awesome card there. Moving on, and sorry the pictures are going to come in blurry at first because I do have these all on Google Docs. So we have Lady Family Dog, 3-cost inkable 2/2, quests for 2 lore, with the ability Someone to Care For. When you play this character, you may play a character with 2 cost or less for free. I thought this was interesting because, I mean, you can get this out pretty early, and it's basically 2 cards in 1. So 2 cards in 1 type of cards I think are always pretty decent at least, and you know, this being part of that. So pretty interesting there. We have Perdita on the Lookout. 2-cost 1/4 with quest for 1 lore with the ability Keeping Watch. While you have a puppy character in play, this character gets 1 willpower. More puppy support, which is pretty awesome. I know I've personally said that I was planning on building a puppy deck. I haven't done that yet. I'm currently actually trying to build a racer deck. And the cool thing about Reign of Jafar is racers are getting a bit more support from what we've seen and from what we've heard as well. But the more puppy type of cards that I'm seeing, the more I do want to play a kind of deck like this. And honestly, if you look at the cost to build a deck like this, it really is not all that expensive. So I'm all for it, in all honesty. Just more puppy support seems pretty cool. So we have a legendary here, Chief Bogo, Commanding Officer, a 6-cost inkable 5/5, quest for 1 lore, with the ability Sending Backup. During an opponent's turn, whenever one of your characters with Bodyguard is banished, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a character card with that costs 5 or less, you may play that character for free. Otherwise, put it on the top of your deck. So I thought it was a pretty interesting card. Really nice art showcasing Chief Bogo there. But the fact that you're getting more Bodyguard support. So I know Arcasia's Island had a few cards like that Mittens card that revolved around Bodyguard. I think having a deck like that could be kind of interesting, especially when you pair it with, let's say, steel. So if you have amber, you pair it with steel, you know, you have cards that give resist, then it's going to be even tougher to get rid of, you know, your bodyguard cards. So I don't know, just my 2 cents on that one here. Here we have Pua Protective Pig. I thought it was kind of cute art. Lace was like, why does he look so angry? Is it a he or a she? I don't know. Anyways, a 3-cost inkable 2/2 that quests for 1 lore with bodyguard, but it is a amber amethyst, and it has the ability free fruit. When this character is banished, you may draw a card. So I thought it was interesting that you can place this card down. It is another body to deal with because of bodyguard, but it also helps you cycle through cards with that drawing a card ability. So I thought that was pretty interesting there. And then we have Bruno Madrigal Singer Seer. 7-cost uninkable 3/7 that quests for 2. It has Shift 5 and Bright Future. Whenever this character sings a song, you may draw a card for each character you have in play. Now, mainly the decks that come to mind for a card like this would be the Madrigal cards. Sorry if you hear that, we have the dryer running in the background there. And if you have been hearing kind of like footsteps up above, I don't know if my mic can capture that. That's Elijah running around, so Lace is, you know, with Elijah right now. So whenever this character sings a song, you may draw a card for each character you have in play. I see this in Madrigal decks, which have always been revolving around the amber amethyst colors. So just seeing more support for that is pretty cool. I love Encanto. I wanted to build a Madrigal deck, and the more cards I'm seeing, it seems easier than ever to build one. I mean, you have a lot of tools, in all honesty. So that's pretty cool. We have Tramp, Dapper Rascal. He honestly, really cool looking card there. 6-cost inkable 2/8 that quests for 2 lore. Now, it is a Shift 4 with the ability to play it cool. During an opponent's turn, whenever one of your characters is banished, you may draw a card. I thought this seemed pretty strong, in all honesty. You can shift it onto a Tramp for 4, so you can get it out even earlier. It's a pretty beefy body with 8 willpower, so it's going to be pretty hard to deal with. And then has that card draw. So I still have no idea what this deck is about, but there's that Churna Dogs deck. I think this card is probably going to fit right in that. I probably have to look that up, but I've just been too busy to see what that deck's really all about. Next, we have King Candy, Sugar Rush Nightmare. So it is a 3-cost inkable 3/2 with that quest for 1 lore, with the ability a new roster. So when this character is banished, you may return another racer character card from your discard to your hand. I thought this card was cool. I know Lace would not like this, even though she collects racers. She doesn't want to collect King Candy. But I am currently trying to build a racer deck, and I don't know, this might fit in there, especially getting to be able to get your racers back, of course. Cycling through them, I think that could be pretty interesting. And then we have Patch, Playful Pup. It is a 1-cost uninkable 0/2 that quests for 1 with Ward, and the ability Puppy Barking. While you have another puppy character in play, this character gets +1 lore. More puppy support, and really, really awesome art, I think. Really cute. So, can't complain there. And then we have Roly, a 4-cost 2/3 inkable that quests for 1 with support, and the ability Adorable Antics. When you play this character, you may put a character card from your discard into your inkwell face down and exerted. I know we have a few cards that kind of already do that, but for the puppy kind of deck getting more ramp, I could easily see how that could be pretty good, especially especially when the puppy deck has so many cheap cards, so you're really just flooding the board with bodies. No complaints there. Rolly, chubby puppy. You're looking chubby and cute. Like it a lot. So, more puppy support. We have Perdita, Determined Mother, a 6-cost inkable, 4/6. And sorry if you hear Elijah in the background. He is excited to eat, I think. I probably should have closed that door. But anyways, shift 4. So with the ability Quick Everyone Hide, when you play this character, you may put all puppy character cards from your discard into your inkwell face down and exerted. So more ramp for the puppy deck. I think the art is really cool on this one. Perdita looking, as the card would say, determined. But yeah, the more cards that I'm seeing that is, that are gonna support the puppy deck play style, then I do want to build a deck like this. So really cool seeing more puppy support there. Next we have Bolt, a down but not out, a 3-cost 0/4 with that quests for 4 with the ability None of Your Powers Are Working. This character plays exerted. So not a puppy card, even though Bolt is a puppy, but it is a Amber Steel. I thought this card was pretty interesting. Mainly it's a 3-cost, so not necessarily the cheapest card, but the fact that it quests for 4 to me means that if you do put out a card like this, your opponent is going to have to deal with this card, or you're going to be able to just quest for 4. So kind of interesting, especially if you pair it with more of the resist cards that the Amber Steel archetype has. So I thought it could be pretty interesting there. Next we have Antonio's Jaguar, Faithful Companion. It is a 2-cost inkable 1/4 that quests for 1 with the ability You Want to Go Where. When you play this character, if you have a character named Antonio Madrigal in play, you gain 1 lore. I really mainly just like the art on this card here, and I do have a collection of Encanto cards coming along, so this card would fit right in it. In terms of playable cards, I don't really know. I mean, yeah, you pair it with Antonio, you can play it in a Madrigal deck, but there's literally, from what I've seen, only 1 Antonio card, and it's okay. It's that Amethyst Antonio. I don't think I have it saved. Oh, just kidding. This one right here. So this is the only card you can really pair it with, which from a thematic point of view, it makes sense. But from a kind of gameplay, I don't know. I don't think it'll work all that well. Water break. Lady, Decisive Dog. She is a 1-cost inkable 0/3 that quests for 1 with 2 abilities. First one being Pack of Her Own. Whenever you play a character, this character gets 1 might this turn. And then her second ability is Take the Lead. While this character has 3 might or more, she gets 2 lore. Now again, going back to the Chernadog deck, maybe that deck has a lot of, or if you play any deck that has a lot of really cheap Amber cards, which Amber tends to have, I can definitely see getting some use out of this, especially 1 cost and you get 3 might and 2 lore. That's pretty strong in all honesty. So could be pretty good. And then next we have Alma Madrigal, Accepting Grandmother, a 6-cost inkable 5/5 that quests for 2 with the ability Miracle. The Miracle Is You. I do like that song. But once during your turn, whenever one or more of your characters sings the song, you may ready those characters. Again, Madrigal deck. I think this could be pretty good. Fits the theme, fits the deck. I've never built one, but I would assume this could be pretty decent. So just a little bit on that, and the art really well done, in all honesty. All right, next we have Donald Duck, and I did want to pair this with another card because, I mean, they go together. But so we have Donald Duck Coin Collector. He is an 8-cost inkable for 8 that quests for 2 with 2 abilities. So here, Piggy, for each item named the Nephews Piggy Bank you have in play, you pay 2 less ink to play this character. And then the other ability is Money Everywhere. When you play this character, your other characters gain exhaust, draw a card this turn. So when you look at this card and then you pair it with the Nephew's Piggy Bank here, which is a 2-cost uninkable item with the abilities Inside Job. So if you have a character named Donald Duck in play, you pay 1 less ink to play this item. So it doesn't just have to be that same Donald Duck, it could be any Donald Duck, and then the other ability is Payoff. You exhaust this card and then the chosen character gets -1 might until the start of your next turn. So the ability on its own it's okay, but to be able to get this 4/8 Donald Duck that quests for 2 out early, and with the ability, I think that could be a pretty interesting pairing, in all honesty. Also a little bit more interesting because I don't really associate Amber with the item type of playstyle. I guess unless you are building, let's say, like an Amber Sapphire, where Sapphire has quite a lot of items as well. I don't know, interesting pairing. We'll see what happens there. And then we have our first reprint. So I wanted to bring this card up, which is Dalmatian Puppy Tail Wagger, 2-cost, 2/3 inkable that quests for 1, and then with the ability Where Did They All Come From? You may have up to 99 copies of Dalmatian Puppy Tail Wagger in your deck. For those of you that are aware, this is a reprint from the other Dalmatian Puppy Tail Wagger card. I think that was Inklands is where that card was from. Sorry, don't knock me. I only joined with Azurite Sea, really. But so another reprint of the card basically means that puppies are going to get more support moving forward after the rotation. So pretty interesting. We'll see if we get more reprints of more puppy support, because there's actually a few Perditas and Pongos that are usable within the puppy deck that we haven't seen just yet, but at least this one got the reprint. New art as well, so that definitely stands out, because when we look at the upcoming Fabled set, a lot of those reprints are actually going to be the same art, so I don't know if that really means that much. There's going to be another card that we'll go over in this video, the Captain Hook that we'll see, which is also another reprint of the, is it set 1 or set 2? Or whatever, there's a Captain Hook there, reprint. We'll go over that when we get to it. All right, next card, Candy Drift, which is in action, and sorry, it's main, okay, cool. Came through. So it is a 2-cost inkable action with the ability draw a card. So chosen character of yours gets 5 might this turn, and then at the end of your turn, banish them. I would like to see this card played in a racer deck. I would definitely like to try and fit it within it. One, it's a 2-cost that gives you the ability to not only draw a card, but with that 5 might, you can get rid of a lot of different kinds of, let's say, pesky, high willpower bodies. So I think this card actually could be pretty interesting. Pair that with the fact that you're getting more racers that help you get racers back. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. And then next we have a song. So Trials and Tribulations. 2-cost inkable. I'm sure Lace would like this card, not only for the art, well, mainly the art. I don't know if she would have played a card like this, but chosen character gets -4 might until the start of your next turn. So pretty decent, pretty interesting. Really what stands out to me here is the art. Really love that art, and great song as well. So next we have Palace Guard, Spectral Sentry, which is a 1-cost inkable 1/4 that quests for 1. It has Vanish because it is part of the illusion classification. If you watched our initial, the next chapter overview video that we did talk about this card a little bit. I still think it's going to be pretty strong. Even though it has Vanish, it's a 1-cost 1/4. 4 willpower is always kind of a rough body to get rid of early on. So pretty interesting there. Next we have Hades Ruthless Tyrant, a 7-cost uninkable 3/6 that quests for 2 with the ability Short on Patience. When you play this character and whenever he quests, you may deal 2 damage to another chosen character of yours to draw 2 cards. I wanted to showcase this cards for a couple of reasons. One, that art, I think that art's fantastic. Just seeing Hades like that, he looks like he's ready to make a deal, in all honesty. But the art's really nice. I think the ability is interesting. We have been seeing some Amethyst Ruby archetypes where you want to damage your own characters, shift some of that damage onto someone else or your opponent, and it makes things happen. So seeing more of that can be quite interesting, and I would love to see a deck do that. I don't know if there's actually successful decks that do that right now, but I like the gameplay there. I think it'd be pretty cool. All right, one of my favorite cards that have been revealed so far, which is Pinocchio Strings Attached. It is a 4-cost 0/4 that quests for 2 inkable, 2 abilities, or evasive, and then it has the ability Got to Keep Real Quiet. Once during your turn, whenever you ready this character, you may draw a card. So I think this card is going to be really good. And moving on, I mean, the art style is one thing I did want to talk about here. I think that's cool art for 2 reasons. One, it's really good art, but 2, you got the Mission Impossible style Pinocchio. I mean, it can't get better than that, or maybe it can, but I think that's a really cool card. Honestly, I would love to see an enchanted version of this card. I think that would be really cool. But I think the ability is really good. I can almost see this possibly. Now, I might be wrong here, but I can see it in Blurple decks, where if you wanted that ability to just draw more cards, I mean, the fact that this card has evasive, it quests for 2, so that's actually pretty good. And every time this card isn't rid of on your turn, you're drawing an extra card. I think that's pretty good, in all honesty. So we'll see what happens with it. If anything, if just for the way the card is drawn out, I think it's awesome. Next up, we have Bambi Little Prince. So a 3-cost uninkable 1/1 that quests for 3 lore. 2 abilities. The first one is Say Hello. When you play this character, gain 1 lore. And then the second ability is Kind of Bashful. When an opponent plays a character, return this character to your hand. So I'm not sure if this card is going to be good or not. I feel like it is. Maybe with specific support, it could be really good. I just imagine every time you play this character, your opponent's also going to be playing characters, so you're just going to be returning Bambi to your hand. I mean, yeah, you gain 1 lore, and if Bambi isn't dealt with, you can quest for 3, so that's pretty good. It'll be interesting to see where this card goes. I imagine if you have like 4 copies in your deck and somehow you have enough ink to play them all at once all the time, and just keep constantly cycling them, that could be interesting. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that card there. Next, we have Madam Mim Rhino, a 6-cost uninkable 6/5 that quests for 1. It has Shift 2. So you can potentially get this card out on turn 3. Turn 3, and we'll go over that reason why. But she has the ability Make Way coming through. When you play this character, banish her or return another chosen character of yours to your hand. Now, most Madam Mim cards do have that ability there, but really what is pretty impressive about this card is the fact that it's Shift 2 for a 6/5 body. You can play this as early as turn 3 because of the fact that you have Madam Mim. I don't know if it's possible to get it out any earlier, but Madam Mim, the 2 cost, with pretty much the same ability, and sorry if you can hear my stomach growling, I am hungry. But yeah, really strong card. We'll see kind of how that goes. You're not going to be playing this card in Blurple, only because of course they put it in Amethyst Ruby, but we'll see what happens with that card. I thought it was interesting. Really cool art, so we'll see what happens there. A card that we also showed off in that original video, which is the Jafar, High Sultan of Lorcana, 5-cost uninkable 4/4 that quests for 3. Whenever this character quests, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. If an illusion character card is discarded this way, you may play that character for free. The more illusions we get, the stronger this card becomes, in all honesty. So, really interesting to see where that goes, but just wanted to show it here because I do think this card can be quite strong. Next we have Force Duel, which is an action 5-cost inkable. Your characters gain Challenger 2, and when this character is banished in a challenge, return this card to your hand. Could be interesting. I don't know how usable that is, but it's like, I imagine you try and pair it with that Bambi Little Prince we went over earlier. I don't know. Could be interesting. So we'll see there. And then next we have Pull the Lever, which this is another card that we talked about in the earlier video. 3-cost inkable with choose 1, draw 2 cards, or each opponent chooses and discards a card. Mainly I wanted to show this card off, one, because the art is, when you look at it, it's really nice. But I think I also wanted to show it off because we are getting a wrong lever card. And if you watched our previous video, we talked a little bit about the fact that that would be a really cool card to get. And they are going to be releasing it in Reign of Jafar, so just pretty happy about that. Scarab, 2-cost uninkable with the ability Search the Sands. You exhaust this and pay 2 ink to return an illusion character card from your discard to your hand. So just more illusion support. I think we'll see what ends up happening with illusions as we go forward. Next we have Rapunzel, High Climber, which is a 5-cost inkable 2/5 that quests for 2, has evasive and the ability Wrapped Up. Whenever this character quests, chosen opposing character can't quest during their next turn. During our initial video, I thought this card was okay. I'm sure it does have a lot more potential. I'm not a professional player, so I can't see all of the potential plays that could be made with this, but I do really love the art. It's legendary. With the stitch that was revealed this morning, we know we are going to get an enchanted version of this card, and I think they even teased it in the next chapter live stream. So we'll see what ends up happening with this card, but just pretty cool. And then we have Flynn Rider, breaking and entering 4-cost uninkable 1/4 that quests for 3. This is a very big day. Whenever this character is challenged, the challenging player may choose and discard a card. If they don't, you gain 2 lore. I like this card because of a few reasons. One, the stats are okay, but it's the amount of lore that Flynn can quest for. And it's also the fact that, so if your opponent doesn't deal with him, you can quest for 3. If your opponent does, they have to make another choice of either discarding a card or you gain 2 lore. So pretty good there, in all honesty. When you have a card that can make the opponent have to really contend with it, I always think those are pretty good. Next we have Hiro Hamada, Intuitive Thinker. It's a 2-cost inkable 1/3 that quests for 1 with the ability look for a new angle. So basically you would exhaust this card and then you can ready a chosen Floodborn character. It looks like Floodborn, especially when you're talking about the Baymax, there is getting more support. So I just wanted to talk a little bit on that. I thought that was pretty cool. Next we have Maui, Stubborn Trickster, a 6-cost inkable 4/4 that quests for 3 lore with the ability I'm not finished yet. When this character is banished, choose one. You can either put 2 damage counters on all opposing characters, banish all opposing items, banish all opposing locations. I don't know, I think this card is really good because it gives you options. And I think options are always great, especially when you're talking about a game where, yeah, in tournament play you may know that there are specific more popular decks being played, but a card like this does give you options just in case you are facing someone who plays more locations, who plays more items, or is flooding the board with cheap characters. I think this card has a lot of potential there, so that's why I wanted to show this card off. Next we have Honey Lemon Costume Catalyst. We have she's a 4-cost inkable 3/3 with 2 lore, or that quests for 2 lore with the ability Let's Do This. Whenever you play a Floodborn character, if you use shift to play them, you may return a chosen character to their player's hand. Just more Floodborn support. We're definitely getting quite a bit of that when we're looking at Arcasia's Island and now Reign of Jafar, so we'll see what ends up happening there. And then even more Floodborn support here with Chem Purse, 2-cost inkable item with the ability, here's the best part. Whenever you play a character, if you used shift to play them, they get 4 might this turn. Pretty decent. Again, I don't know if it's any good, but just wanted to showcase that they are adding even more Floodborn support. Vanellope von Schweetz, Spunky Speedster, a 2-cost inkable 3/1 that quests for 1 with evasive. Nothing too crazy here. Really just wanted to showcase this because I think the art's really cool. Lace wants to collect racer cards, so this is definitely one that she would want. I think this card could be pretty decent in a racer deck. I just need to see how it would fit because she is a racer. So overall, pretty interesting. Nothing too crazy in terms of stats though. The fact that she's an evasive at 2 cost though could be pretty good, especially dealing with other evasives. And you pair her with the that action card we talked about earlier. So who knows, we'll see. Thumper, Young Bunny. It is a 2-cost inkable 0/3 that quests for 1 with the ability You Can Do It. You exhaust this card and the chosen character gets +3 might this turn. Pretty interesting for the most part, but honestly I just want to showcase it because I like the art. I think it's not like I'm the biggest Bambi fan, but I think Thumper here is looking pretty cool. So, all right, we got LeFou, and if this picture will come through, I can read it. LeFou Cake Thief, a 2-cost inkable 2/2 that quests for 1 with the ability All For Me. If you exhaust this card, banish one of your items, and the chosen opponent loses 1 lore and you gain 1 lore. More support for that Ruby Sapphire item steel deck that, I mean, from Arcasia's Island, they already got quite a bit of support there. So even more support for that through this LeFou card. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Next is a Mulan Charging Ahead, 4-cost uninkable 3/3 that cannot quest. but she's got 2 abilities. So the first one being Burst of Speed. During your turn, this character gains evasive. And her second ability is Long Range. This character can challenge ready characters. So the ability to challenge ready characters I think is always pretty decent. Really that's gonna be her only job, but you can also challenge evasive characters. So I think this can be paired with Mushu, especially when you look at the Ruby Steel coloring. I can't remember what that Mushu card does, but who knows? Could be pretty interesting. All right, Nothing We Won't Do, which is a song that is 8 cost, inkable with Sing Together, and the ability is ready all of your characters, with Sing Together 8, and the ability is ready all of your characters, and for this turn, they take no damage from challenges and can't quest. So, I thought this card was interesting for a few reasons. One, I really like that art. It's been a while since I've seen Brother Bear. I want to say Big Brother, Brother Bear. So I like the art. I think the ability is interesting. It's like, I want to fit this in a racer deck because I think that could be kind of interesting. It has Sing Together 8. So honestly, when you have a lot of racers out, wouldn't be hard to play this card at all. And it's an inkable card too, so if you get it early and you can't play it, just ink it. I think this could be pretty interesting, especially if you're looking to clear the board of your opponent. Your cards will take, your bodies will take no damage. I think, I'm gonna keep saying interesting, I think it's interesting, so. All right. We have Get Out, which is a Ruby Sapphire 6 cost uninkable action. Banish chosen character, then return an item card from your discard to your hand. More support for that item type of play style, but really I just think the art is funny. Beast is literally about to throw Gaston over the cliff's edge there. That's what it looks like anyways, so I think it's pretty cool. All right, next we have Twitter Pated. It is a 1 cost inkable action. Chosen character gains evasive until the start of your next turn. I don't think it's a crazy good card. I just wanted to show it off because one, I had to ask Lace what Twitter Pated meant, and she she actually knew right off the bat, which was funny. She's like, oh yeah, it just means that you're so in love that it's like you're under a spell. And I think that is awesome when you look at the art for this card here, which I really love this art here. I think it's really cute. With the name, it makes sense. The ability, oh, it's okay. I don't think it's that crazy, but that's why I just want to show this card off here. And then next we have Most Everyone's Mad here. 7 cost uninkable action. Gain lore equal to the damage on chosen character, then banish them. So with the Ruby Amethyst playstyle of adding damage onto your characters, I can definitely see this something being pretty good, especially if like you're nearing end game, you quest with a character that has a lot of damage on them. And then let's say you're close enough and you have that ink, you play this card and it can win you the game maybe. I don't know. So could be pretty interesting there. We have the Wardrobe, Perceptive Friend, 4 cost inkable, 3/4, that quests for 1. And the ability, I Have Just the Thing. You exhaust this card and choose and discard an item card, draw 2 cards. I think it's a pretty good card. I think I saw some people comparing this to the, what is the name of that card? Hiram Flaversham. I don't know why I couldn't remember the name of that card there. That card, or this card is being compared to that card that got banned. So I couldn't say much on it. Seems pretty decent. We'll see what happens. Radigan, Greedy Genius. So looking at this card here, it is an 8 cost inkable 6/7 that quests for 4. with ward and the ability time runs out. At the end of your turn, if you didn't put any cards into your inkwell this turn, banish this character. I think for those ramp decks, this card could be pretty hard to deal with. You know, especially when you're looking at Sapphire that has a lot of ways to get ink into your inkwell. You play this card out early, but let's say by like turn 4 or 5 or however, you know, however early they can get it. And now you have a 6/7 body that quests for 4. With ward, that's pretty good. Aladdin Vigilant Guard, 6 cost inkable, 1/9 with that quest for 1 lore, has bodyguard. The ability Safe Passage. Whenever one of your allied characters quests, you may remove up to 2 damage from this character. We showed this off in that original video. I still think it could be a pretty good card. So we'll see what ends up happening with that there. Heads Held High, a song that is 6 ink or 6 cost inkable. Sing together 6. And you can remove up to 3 damage from any number of chosen characters, and all opposing characters get -3 this turn. So really interesting card because of the fact that you can heal as many of your characters as you want if they do have damage, but you can also use this on, let's say, illusion cards. You heal any of those illusion cards, it counts as an action, and all of those illusion cards go bye-bye. So this is definitely an illusion counter, especially with Sing Together. You're not getting this out on turn 6, you can get it out way earlier, depending on what you have out. So I think it's a pretty good card. And here is the reprint, the Captain Hook Forceful Duelist, 1 cost, 1/2, quest for 1 inkable, challenger +2. If you've been playing Lorcana, you already know what this card is, but we do have new art for the Captain Hook, which is pretty good art. So yeah, just want to show it off here because we got a reprint here. Vincenzo Santorini, the Explosive Expert, 7 cost inkable, 2/8, that quests for 3, and has the ability I just like to blow things up. When you play this character, you may deal 3 damage to chosen character. So I think this card, 1, I love Atlantis. Vincenzo is one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character from that movie. So I think this card is awesome. He's doing the whole cool guys don't look at explosions card. Now, from what was partially teased, I think this was teased during like that art stream or art Discord showcase thing. I think what they ended up talking about was the fact that we have Vincenzo here tossing that match. We may get a second card, so possibly an Enchanted that shows the result of the explosion there. So we could get an Enchanted where Vincenzo is still looking cool as he is, but the crates there have exploded. So we'll see there. I think that could be pretty cool. This card is pretty decent too because of the fact that you play this card and he has built-in removal. 8 willpower, so hard to deal with, and quest for 3. I think it's a pretty good card. So next we have Mickey Mouse Giant Mouse, 10 cost uninkable, 10/10, quest for 5, bodyguard, and the ability The Biggest Star Ever. When this character is banished, deal 5 damage to each opposing character. This card is definitely can be pretty good if you can get him out there. So you're either going to have to ramp him out there, or there's that legendary Mickey from Arcasia's Island that if you manage to get this card out on turn 2, let's say, I think that would be insane. Although, deal 5 damage to each opposing character. I think this card is better the longer you wait. So if you get this out on turn 2, yeah, it's hard to deal with a 10/10 body that quests for 5. But I would imagine how devastating it would be if you were facing an opponent that's flooded their board with, let's say weaker amber cards. This would hurt a lot. So Stitch, Alien, Troublemaker, there it is. Alien Troublemaker, 4 cost inkable, 3/4, that quests for 1 with the ability I Win. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may draw a card and gain 1 lore. I like the art for this card. The ability is pretty decent. Like, I'm collecting Stitch cards as well, but I don't. I only recently decided to start collecting Stitch, so this is one that I will definitely add to the collection. But yeah, pretty cool card. And then to go along with it, we have Quick Shot, which is a 2-cost uninkable action. Deal 1 damage to chosen character, draw a card. So 2 costs to add a little bit of damage, possibly removal. I mean, if that card has 1 willpower, but you also get to draw a card. So card that does 2 things for 2 is pretty decent. So we have Rhino, or apparently Dino in German. When you play this character, it's a 1-cost, 1/2 that quests for 1 lore. Inkable. When you play this character, chosen character gets -1 strength until your next turn. Nothing too crazy, but the art is fantastic on this one. I think Dino is looking pretty cool there. His name is Rhino, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, so. Next we have Elsa, Fierce Protector. 4-cost, inkable 3/4 that quests for 1. Ice Over. You expend 1 ink and you get to choose and discard. Oh, also you have to choose and discard a card, and then you get to exert chosen opposing character. The ability is okay. I'm sure there's a way to make that discard work pretty well, but fits Elsa's theme. She always manages to freeze other cards, glimmers, what have you, and or exert them basically. And then these 2 cards, there's more, but I didn't want to show off too much, or else this video would go on forever. First off, we have, what do we have here? We'll just look at both of them. Anna, Trusting Sister, which is a 3-cost inkable 2/2 that quests for 2 with the ability We Can Do This Together. When you play this character, if you have a character named Elsa in play, you may put the top card of your deck into your inkwell face down and exerted. So we have a little bit of ramp there for the Anna Elsa deck kind of playstyle there. And then we have Into the Unknown, which is a blurple 3-cost inkable song where you can put chosen exerted character into the player's inkwell face down and exerted. And this card is actually gonna, I think, be really good. One, I mean, it has options. You can exert your own, or you can ink your own card if you needed to ramp up more, or this can be great removal against someone else's, let's say they have a really tough card that you're having a hard time dealing with, use this card there. So I think that can be pretty good there. So during the art stream here, they showed off these 3 cards, Louie, Dewey, and Huey, and I thought these were really cool. It's a triple art, and if what they were saying is true, the cards are actually going to look like this. So notice how they don't have borders on some of the cards, or at least Dewey doesn't have borders on the right and left side. Huey doesn't have a border on the left side. When you get these cards, this is what they're going to look like, so that when you're playing them, if you're playing them together, you can do this. And I think that is super cool. I hope they continue to do that. Another example of that is going to be Brutus and Nero here. So same thing, one is a ruby, one's an amethyst. It works with moving damage around, gaining lore. I mean, you can kind of read it for yourself. We're running kind of long in this video here, but really, really cool art, and just another example of their taking out the border so that you can place these 2 cards together. And again, I hope they keep doing that. Next up we have Rhea, 6-cost inkable 5/5 that quests for 2 with unconventional tactics. Whenever this character quests, you may pay 2 ink to ready another chosen character. Pretty good card. Basically the talk, or from what I've seen, you're pairing this with the Shimmering Skies Mufasa. And I think I do have that card here. There you go. So you have the Shimmering Skies Mufasa, ruler of Pride Rock. I mean, you put these two cards together and you're doing this whole back and forth thing, and that can be pretty devastating. Now, this is more of a late game play unless you ramp it up, but it could be pretty interesting. So Mushu, Your Worst Nightmare, which is a 6-cost inkable 4/6 that quests for 2, shift 4, with the ability All Fired Up. So whenever you play another character, they gain Rush, Reckless, and Evasive. Pretty interesting, very kind of a niche ability. Kind of works, I mean, kinda. It definitely works with the whole Ruby Steel archetype they're kind of supporting here. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Next we have Alice, Clumsy as Can Be. I like this card a lot because of the art, but it is a 6-cost inkable, and sorry, it's not, there it is, it's coming through. So 6-cost inkable 2/6 that quests for 2, you can shift 3, and the ability Accident Prone. Whenever this character quests, put 1 damage counter on each other character. That can be pretty good in all honesty, especially with, if you can get her out on turn 3 and you know you're having a hard time dealing with her, she can do quite a bit of damage to your characters by, in a sense, like poisoning them as she's questing. All right, and then we have more racer cards, which I'm pretty excited about. This one was from a German, or is that German? No, not German, I think it's Spanish. So I think this is from a Spanish reveal. The ability is when you play this character, each opponent loses 1 lore and you gain 1 lore. Racer, I think that could be pretty good. 3-cost inkable 1/2 that quests for 1. Okay stats, but the ability I think can be pretty useful in a racer deck. All right, another card that is not on the app, but you can find it on Twitter or X, is Mirabel Madrigal, Curious Child, with the ability You Are a Jewel. When you play this character, you may reveal a song card from your hand to gain 1 lore. So definitely an interesting way to get free lore. I don't know how good that is if you want to reveal the cards that you have in your hand for lore, but I think it's interesting that they're doing that, especially if you're playing, of course, like a steel song deck or any song or any deck that revolves around playing lots of songs. Of course, that's going to be pretty good. Here it is, the Wrong Lever card. So this is one that I think is awesome that they're doing. It's a 3-cost inkable. Choose 1, return chosen character to their player's hand, or you can put a Pull the Lever card from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck to put chosen character on the bottom of their owner's deck. So I think it's really cool that it actually works together with the Pull the Lever card. I think that's really cool thematically. The Dodo, Outlandish Storyteller, with the ability, so it's a 3-cost inkable 0/6 1 lore with the ability A Most Fatal Situation. This character gains +1 strength for each damage on them. on them. My voice is going away. But anyways, so I think this card is pretty interesting. Nice art, but the fact that it just gets stronger as he gets hurt. So working with that that purple amethyst playstyle of putting damage onto your characters, this character would be a good candidate for that. He just gets stronger. So really cool there. And then lastly, I think that pretty much does it for all the regular cards here. Now, we're going to be putting out a video just kind of like we did for Arcasia's Island, going over all the Enchanteds, but I did just want to go over some of the Enchanteds that were revealed so far. So, first one is going to be the Jasmine. This is one that was revealed during the stream. So, really gorgeous card, and when the art team did their Discord stream, when they talked about how this card was created and everything, I think that's really cool. So just wanted to show that off a little bit. I'm not going to go too much into the abilities there. Here is the Jafar, High Sultan of Lorcana Enchanted. So this is going to be the Set Champs Enchanted card. Really gorgeous art again. what they're doing with these enchanteds for this set is going to be really cool. This is one that really caught my attention here, and this is one they showcased in that art. Man, I can't get the full picture here. They showcased during like that art stream, the Discord stream. But here's Bambi, Little Prince, and I don't know why I can't get a full picture here, but here's the enchanted, really gorgeous card. Definitely want this for the personal collection, that's for sure. Again, I'm not a big fan, Bambi fan. Not that Bambi's a bad movie or anything, but I just don't really think about it that much. But I definitely want this card. It is gorgeous. And then lastly, this is one that was revealed this morning at the time of recording. So we have, and I hope it comes through clearer. So we have this Stitch that was revealed. Lorcana put out a little video, and this was basically teased within that video there on X. So Stitch Experiment 626. We actually haven't even seen this card in its regular form yet, but it is a 3-cost uninkable 3/3 that quests for 2, and it has 2 abilities. So the first one is So Naughty. When you play this character, each opponent puts the top card of their deck into their inkwell. And then you have Stealth Mode. So at the start of your turn, if this card is in your discard, you may choose and discard a card with that is inkable to play him for free, and he enters play exerted. So I really love the art style here as an enchanted. We saw this teased way back when there was a stream that they had this picture and a Rapunzel picture in the background. It was hard to make out, but yep, here it is, enchanted. Just kind of like what everyone thought. The abilities are kind of interesting. I'm not sure how great they are, because when you're playing this card, you're giving your opponent a ramp. You're basically giving them ink to play more of their cards. It could possibly be interesting maybe in a mill deck where you're trying to make your opponent lose all their cards so that, you know, they deck out. But it's also kind of interesting with the second ability, the fact that this card basically remains in play the entire game, even if it is discarded. So at any time at the start of your turn, you can discard a card that is inkable to play him for free whenever. So this card is always technically a threat, throughout the entire game, which is pretty cool. So we'll see what ends up happening there. I do like that they are playing around with this ability to be there even in discard, and they also did that with the Lilo. I forget what the name of that card is off the top of my head. I'll show it on the video. But it's that Lilo card from Azurite Sea, the one that can be replayed from the discard. So it's cool that they're doing more of that coming back mechanic there. But aside from that, this video has gone long enough as is. That is all the cards I wanted to show off for week 1 of the reveals. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Comment below if you have any sort of guesses as to what reprints we may be getting in, let's say, even Reign of Jafar or Fabled. Because it looks like Reign of Jafar is getting reprints. We already have 2 of them. And I forget what stream it was, but they announced that Fabled is going to be more than half. There's going to be a lot of cards in Fabled, but more than half of it are going to be reprints. I don't know if it's just going to be from set 1. I highly doubt it. I think it's going to be from... Did they already show that? Anyways, it's going to be more than half reprints for Fabled. So comment below what reprints you think you're going to see, or what reprints you want to see. For me, I would really like to see a reprint of Rapunzel, gifted with healing. I joined Lorcana late, so I would like to actually see that card be available for way cheaper. So we'll see what ends up happening there. And we'll be coming out with more videos. Probably do this at the end of the week type of format, just because unfortunately Lace and I don't really have time to to keep up with as many reveals as they're doing throughout the week. So just to kind of do an end of the week recap up until the release of Reign of Jafar. But again, hope you guys enjoyed that. Like it if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and then we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a blessed day, guys. Bye-bye.